Chapter 1 The Kingdom of Vijayanagara. In the heart of South India lay the magnificent kingdom of Vijayanagara, ruled by the wise and benevolent King Krishnadevaraya. The kingdom was known for its wealth, culture, and a court filled with brilliant scholars, poets, and artists. Among them was a peculiar figure, Tenali Raman, the king's jester. With a sharp wit and a knack for clever solutions, he had earned a place in the king's heart and in the hearts of the people. Tenali Raman was not just a jester, he was a man of great intelligence, often using humor to deliver lessons. He had a reputation for outsmarting the kingdom's greatest scholars, which made him both loved and envied. His clothes were colorful, adorned with jingling bells, and his eyes sparkled with mischief. Chapter 2 A Looming Threat. One fateful day, the atmosphere in the royal court was tense. The king summoned his courtiers to address a pressing concern. News had arrived that the neighboring kingdom of Kalinga was eyeing Vijayanagara's borders, threatening to invade and claim territory. The king sought advice, but his advisors were stumped. "What shall we do, Your Majesty?" one advisor asked, fidgeting nervously. The king sighed, his brow furrowed. "We cannot let them invade us. We must come up with a strategy that not only protects our land but also shows them our strength." The courtiers murmured among themselves, throwing out ideas that ranged from military action to diplomatic negotiations. But none of the suggestions seemed feasible. It was then that Tenali Raman, sitting quietly at the back, decided it was time to intervene. Chapter 3 A Bold Proposal. With a playful grin, Raman stood up and approached the throne. "Your Majesty, may I offer a suggestion?" "Of course, Tenali," the king replied, intrigued. "What do you have in mind?" "I propose a contest of wits," Raman declared. "Let us challenge the scholars of Kalinga to a battle of intelligence. If we win, they will think twice before invading." The king's eyes lit up with interest. "A contest of wits? Explain further." "We will invite their wisest men to our court and pose them riddles and questions. If they fail, it will be a matter of pride for them, and they will reconsider their ambitions," Raman explained. The courtiers looked at each other, some nodding in approval. The king smiled, appreciating the ingenuity of the idea. "Very well. Prepare the invitation for the Kalinga scholars. Let us see how wise they truly are." Chapter 4 Preparing for the Contest. As the days passed, excitement buzzed through Vijayanagara. Word of the upcoming contest spread quickly, and people gathered in anticipation. The king ordered the construction of a grand stage in the palace courtyard, adorned with flowers and colorful banners. Tenali Raman took it upon himself to craft a series of challenging riddles. He spent long nights brainstorming, wanting to ensure that he had the upper hand. He also observed the rival scholars, noting their strengths and weaknesses. On the day of the contest, the courtyard was filled with spectators. The king sat on his throne, flanked by his advisors and courtiers. The atmosphere was electric, with the people eager to witness the clash of intellects. Chapter 5 The Arrival of the Rivals. As the sun rose high in the sky, the scholars from Kalinga arrived, dressed in their finest robes, exuding confidence. Their leader, a man named Vidyapti, stepped forward and bowed to the king. "Your Majesty, we have come to accept your challenge. We are ready to prove our superiority." King Krishnadevaraya welcomed them warmly. Let the best minds win. We shall begin the contest now. The first round started with a riddle posed by the Kalinga scholars. Vidyapti confidently asked, "What has keys but cannot open locks?" The audience murmured, pondering the riddle. After a moment of silence, Tenali Raman raised his hand and answered, "A piano." Laughter erupted, and the Kalinga scholars frowned, realizing they were in for a tough competition. Chapter 6: The Riddles and the Wit. The contest continued with several rounds, each more challenging than the last. The Kalinga scholars struggled to keep up with Tenali Raman's quick wit and clever answers. For every riddle they posed, Raman countered with an even more ingenious response. In one particularly amusing round, a Kalinga scholar asked, "What runs around the yard without moving?" Tenali chuckled, responding, "A fence." The crowd roared with laughter, while the rival scholars exchanged exasperated glances. As the rounds progressed, Tenali's confidence grew. He played to the audience, making jokes and drawing them into the contest. The atmosphere became increasingly spirited, with each correct answer earning Raman more cheers and applause. Chapter 7: The Final Challenge. After several rounds of witty banter, the Kalinga king proposed a final challenge, one that would determine the ultimate winner. "Let us pose a question that has no answer, and whoever can best explain it shall be the victor," he declared. The question was posed, "What is the sound of one hand clapping?" The audience fell silent, the air thick with anticipation. Many believed it to be an unanswerable riddle, a trap set for Tenali Raman. Tenali Raman took a moment to contemplate the question. He could feel the weight of expectations on his shoulders. Then, with a twinkle in his eye, he stood up and addressed the audience. "Your Majesty, the sound of one hand clapping is the sound of silence." Gasps echoed throughout the courtyard, followed by thunderous applause. The rival scholars looked bewildered, unable to counter such a clever answer. Part 2 is coming out soon. Remember to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Thank you.